Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we are headed to Spain.
Ooh, sounds nice.
It is nice, but we're not going for the siestas or the tapas or anything like
Or
that.
no sangria for us.
Not this time. We're actually going to be looking at the world of online job applications.
That's right. We're diving into some research by a Guinness.
Beginners?
Yeah, like the beer,
Okay.
Garcia Izquierdo, and Ramos Villagrasa.
Catchy names.
Yeah, they looked at what kind of information companies on the Spanish stock exchange were asking for on their online application forms.
And why is that interesting?
Well, they did this in both 2005 and 2009, so
Oh.
we can see what changed.
Oh, so right after
Right.
Spain passed that law in 2007,
Yeah.
that prohibited discrimination based on sex.
Exactly. You'd think a law like that would have a big impact on what companies are asking, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Mm-hmm.
But the researchers found a lot of companies asking for information that could potentially be used for illegal discrimination.
Yeah. Or at least it just seems really intrusive, like too much information.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about small companies here.
Right.
These are big players on the Spanish stock exchange.
The ones that should be setting the standard.
Yeah. The ones that should be leading the way in best practices.
Okay, so let's get into it. Over half of the companies in the study asked for things like age, national ID number, nationality, sex, and even marital status.
It's really remarkable when you think about it, and a lot of them wanted photographs, the number of children you have, even your disability status,
Wow.
and how many relatives work at the company.
So they didn't get the memo about privacy and fairness in hiring.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It does.
Especially because all the research out there shows that requesting this kind of information leads to negative consequences.
For the company, you mean?
Yeah, for the
Okay.
companies, definitely like lawsuits or just a PR nightmare.
Yeah, nobody wants that.
But it's also bad for the applicants, right?
Oh, yeah.
They could face unfair screening or discrimination, even if it's not intentional.
Yeah.
And plus, it just creates a really negative experience who wants to feel like they're being judged based on irrelevant personal details instead of their qualifications.
Right. It's like, what does my marital status have to do with if I can do the job or not?
Exactly.
So why are these companies taking the risk?
It's a good question. Are they just not aware of the research?
Or maybe they think they have a good reason for collecting all this information.
Yeah, maybe.
But even if they think they're well-intentioned, it doesn't change the fact that it could be creating an uneven playing field for applicants.
It really could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're trying to like weed out people who wouldn't be a good fit for their company culture.
Mhm.
Or maybe they think that certain types of people are more likely to do well in specific roles.
But that kind of thinking, that's what leads to bias, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
start making assumptions about people just based on how old they are or their marital status,
I'm totally right.
all that extra information.
It's not relevant.
Yeah, and it creates more opportunity for data breaches and privacy violations, too.
For sure. It's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it really is.
Companies risk legal trouble. They risk hurting their reputation. Applicants might face discrimination and privacy concerns.
So it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what can we do about it?
Well, there's always hope, right?
I hope so.
The first step is awareness,
Okay.
which is what we're doing right now with this deep dive.
Yeah.
The more people who understand the problems with these practices,
Mhm.
the more pressure there will be for companies to change.
Okay, so what can companies do to get on the right track?
Well, they need to take a hard look at their applications and ask themselves, do we really need to know this to decide if someone can do this job?
Right.
If not, get rid of it?
Be intentional about the data you're collecting.
Exactly. And there are organizations out there that can help with this, like the Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, they've got guidelines for ethical and fair recruitment practices.
So there are solutions.
Yeah, for sure. We just got to get companies to use them.
Right. And we can all do our part.
Yeah, spread the word.
Let people know.
Support companies that are doing things the right way.
Create that culture of awareness and accountability.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about protecting applicants. It's
Right.
about helping companies make better hiring decisions.
Mm-hmm.
When the process is fair, everybody wins.
Now, this research was focused on Spain, but are these issues unique to Spain, or is this something we're seeing in other places?
I think it's safe to say this is a global issue.
Oh, yeah.
As more and more companies go online with their applications, it just increases the chances of this happening.
So what can we do about it as individuals?
Mhm.
I mean, this seems like a big problem.
It can feel overwhelming, right?
Yeah.
But we can at least be aware of it.
Okay.
Think about the information you're asked for when you apply for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense to ask for that information?
Yeah. Is it relevant?
Exactly. And if it doesn't seem right,
Hmm.
don't be afraid to push back or just don't apply.
Yeah, take your talents elsewhere.
Right.
Support the companies that are doing things the right way.
Exactly. And if you have any power at your own company
Yeah?
to change hiring practices, advocate for change from within.
Right. Lead by example.
Yeah, we all have a role to play in making the future of work better.
Yeah, we can demand better from companies, hold them accountable
For sure.
to create a fair process for everyone.
Couldn't agree more. And remember, change doesn't happen overnight.
It takes time.
But by raising awareness and taking action,
Yeah.
we can create a more fair and open system for everyone.
Well, this has certainly given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
And I hope it's done the same for our listeners.
I hope so too. It's been great talking about this with you.
And to our listener, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of e-recruitment.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep pushing for positive change.